Dire team pick.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GameShow Invitational. It's going to be Game 2 in the best of 3 between Basically Unknown and ScaryFaceZ. ScaryFaceZ with a 1-game lead after BU have a pretty shaky performance. I'm Mikelorus. I'm going to be joined by Heflamoke. What are your thoughts on the last game? What do you think BU have to change?
Dire team back.
Well, I don't know, the entire decision making, the team going into smokes or showing some initiation, their reaction time on the silence, Shachlo's position as an initiator, like his way that he sometimes just didn't find targets with Burrow Strike. I guess he also had to struggle because there was a Nyx assassin, so it's way harder for SK to fight into this. But overall, they just, you said it, I think, and this describes it the best way. They were not on the same page. There was just no team synergy coming out. Draft-wise, I really thought they have a better stand. And also draft-wise, they were supposed to be the more aggressive team. But I think smokes, for example, used by SFZ were, what, at least double the amount? Or at least smokes that were also successful in finding something. And I think this was ScaryFaceZ win pretty much. The rest was really just a way stronger push and basically Unknown defending by the time or fighting by the time their axes were already down or their tier 3 towers were down, traded for ages that had no impact whatsoever. That's pretty much how I can summarize the last game.
Right, so maybe this game is going to be a little bit different for BU. Maybe they're just need a warm-up game. The first game is always the warm-up game, and it's always the game where you're allowed to make a couple misplays because you're not quite ready to play. So we're going to chalk it up to that. We have a lot of supports being banned out in the secondary phase. Quista's PL going to take a ban out, as is Arise's Mag. But BU, they're going to grab the Queen of Pain one more time, probably give it to Arise once again. This time they're going to grab the Gyrocopter for themselves. It did quite a lot of work for ScaryFaceZ in the last game.
Yep, I mean, now they secure again the Queen of Pain. Potentially on Arise there in the mid, even though I just really didn't see the impact of the Queen of Pain again. You said earlier I cast the wrong games, and you just saw it again. Like, I just cast the wrong games, but Queen of Pains are just not making it then. Her AoE capabilities, they just didn't hit much. The ultimately fast Aghanim Scepter, or relatively fast Aghanim Scepter, no, it just didn't work out. Part of it was, of course, also the strong mana burn. Really fast Diffuser Blade plus the Nyx mana burn equals the Queen of Pain with barely any mana even to blink out of these fights. We have to see. Now we have a Chen by ScaryFaceZ. So again, we have the direction of some more push, Beastmaster push as well, and they go for the Skyrive Mage, who did a lot last game. He was responsible for a lot of kills because his silence was absolutely on the spot.
And they came out a lot faster than anything else that BU had. This game, Telekinesis is going to be a little bit of a closer race if they were, to go head-to-head, which isn't going to happen very often, but still Scarif Mage with just a point-click disable versus Queen of Pain, that in and of itself is value. And when you have a Beastmaster to Roar set up for a Mystic Flare, the two of those heroes, once they're level 6, of course, or at least level 6, they can wander around the map and kill off pretty much anyone on BU without too much of a hitch. They're going to grab a Chen, which was banned out in the first game, and together with the Beastmaster, already they have quite a bit of pushing power. Maybe not in the super early stages, but come 10-15 minutes in, maybe Beastmaster has his maxed out boars by then, or close to it, and then Chen has 2 or 3 creeps there. They could make a lot of pressure happen in this game, and this might be a game where they go a little bit more aggressively into the pushing.
Yep. To be honest, I don't understand quite the Rubik pick because, you already mentioned, especially the Raw is a nice deal, but everything else so far is, I'm not really sure if that has a great impact because they are just small spells that require a certain situation to be really good. The Rubik, I don't understand. It really just feels like, well, guys, we have to draft something supportish. Let's go for Rubik because I like the hero. That's how it feels at the moment. I think something else would have brought a lot more value to it, especially something like AA. Yesterday we saw Ancient Apparition drafted twice. This is a game where I could have understood it because there's a Chen potentially with a Mac, potentially, of course, with his ultimate being cast, having those on fights, especially in choke points, that would have made sense to me. The Slark pick, well, that's definitely something nice because you have something that holds them in place for Queen of Pain and Gyrocopter to get the nukes in there. Then again, also a hero that is quite vulnerable against silences. If the Skyrive Mage gets it off in between the Dark Pacts, then is also a hero that is pretty much screwed once he's silenced.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you can manage to pack out the silencer, pack out the roar. That's a huge asset down the drain from ScaryFaceZ, and Slark is going to be able to do whatever he wants after then. This Rubik to me is more so like a synergy pick within their own team rather than up against ScaryFaceZ. Like, Rubik's always going to be okay aggressively, but together with its potentially support Gyrocopter and now with the Slark, this Rubik gets a lot better. You could force the enemies out of position into the hands of the Slark or into a Rocket Barrage, and if you look at ScaryFace's tankability right now, it's not that high. They have Pugna, who's now super soft, and Beastmaster's the tankiest hero, but even he can't withstand being lifted up into a Rocket Barrage. BU, they have pretty nice kill combos right now with this Rubik as a potential setup here, with the Gyrocopter as a potential secondary support. And ScaryFaceZ, they are going straight into this push, which is obviously the Pugna picked up, DK banned out, but BU, they have, I think, enough at this point just to lock down the lanes and to delay this push for quite a long time.
Well, that's what it comes down to be honest. ScaryFaceZ at the moment, I mean, the push is just insane. Like, Pugna just protecting the entire area with the ward before like they want to go in. Then again, he can like cast the Nether Blast all the time. We have Chen creeps, potentially then sooner big ancients hitting your towers. The Beastmaster, we saw the push potential already coming out in last game, so that really looks good. What I miss, of course, is a core. That's something we're gonna see on the 5th pick, something where I want to see something really heavy, because on the other side we have a Queen of Pain, can be quite dangerous, obviously. Gyrocopter, who can anytime transition into a core, unless this is a core and we see another support coming out. The Slark pretty much goes the same. So late game at the moment is on basically unknown side, unless they really fail to defend their lanes again, just like last game.
10 seconds
It is, of course, always going to be a little bit more of a coin toss. If ScaryFaceZ are going to be that super early game aggressor, it's really up to them to make everything happen. And for basically unknown, you'll take kills when they can get it, but it's up to them to defend. They don't really have to be super proactive. They don't have to be diving deep for kills, so they can be, playing the slow and steady type game. Whereas for ScaryFaceZ, they have to be going for it pretty much all of the time. So for BU, the Clockwork is going to be banned out from them. They would love to have some sort of initiation going into Pugna. That's pretty much always what you want when you're up against this type of pushing strategy. Someone who can start the fight before the enemies are really ready to get going. And with Pugna, it's pretty easy to tell when he's ready to get going. He drops the Nether Ward. If you could jump on him before that Nether Ward is dropped, you save yourself a lot of time and effort.
Yep, definitely. And now, well, we're gonna see on the 5th pick what it is. Is that a Gyrocopter support or a core? I'm actually curious, because they could draft either way. On ScaryFaceZ, what do you think is coming out? Like, we need something big. There could be a Luna, because it's nice for pushing, I think. Also nice for the fight. Could be a Spectre. Something like that.
I don't know if I like the Spectre as much as I like the Luna right now. I feel like if you pick up a Pugna, you're more or less all in on this strategy. So, I mean, Luna is an okay late game hero. She's no Spectre. Let's get that out of the way right now. But she does offer a lot more in the early game. And for basically unknown, they don't really have any great anti-Luna heroes. Like, they don't have a Chen or anyone who can make units or like anything like that. So Eclipse is going to get full value most of the time, exception being the Slark. Queen of Pain could also blink out of there maybe, but yeah, Luna seems pretty good right now. Leshrac seems okay right now for ScaryFaceZ. BU, they're going to grab the Venomancer for a very old role of Venomancer. You're on counter push duty, just lay a whole bunch of wards there, and we'll hope that this is enough, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They need to get some kills in the early stages if they're going to delay this push.
Yep, definitely. Venomancer, that's very interesting. It's like the Teshis for poor people, because you already said it. There is a nice defense potential with all the wards. You can just prepare it. Phoenix coming into those fights, but do they actually have enough to get the Nova casted through after all this? I'm not so sure. When it comes to push, the Phoenix doesn't add too much, so that's very, very, very interesting to me what they draft here. ScaryFaceZ, a full push lineup. If this goes wrong and at 25 minutes they're not working, or 30 minutes they're not working on the base, I think basically Unknown has a good shot on this game. Unless, of course, they perform just like last game, where we just see no coordination whatsoever, then, of course, it's going to be an easy game for SFZ.
Then they could do anything and they'll still win, right?
Yeah, well, you have to see what's happening there. Let's just introduce them while they have a small pause.
Right, so thank you for pausing, guys. Stomanen is going to be handling the Rubik on the BU side. Arise is going to be taking the Queen of Pain once again. Nico Baby on the Slark. We've got Shotcho this time playing the core Venomancer. Pure Evils on the Gyrocopter.
Yep, and on the other side we have Quista playing that Pugna, Ramses on the Phoenix, we have Agnard on the Scarif Mage, Beastmaster played by State22, and Shadowy is playing that Chen. I think that's the kind of funny part. The Beastmaster and the Chen, they're like having the core role here, as in they need their Necro and their Ganims really fast.
Yeah, and Mechanism, Necrobook, those type of items, hell, like Crimson Guard, I don't know who's gonna buy that, if anyone, but those types of items, Vlad's even, will help them push a lot more. And that's really where the Phoenix is a little bit more of a question mark. Like, you already touched on it a little bit. I felt like they had to go for this super early game pushing strategy. Phoenix is okay at fighting in the early mid stages of the game. Supernova is kind of ridiculous if you manage to get it off, and Fire Spirits are also pretty darn broken, but the engine for ScaryFaceZ right now is purely in this Pugna, purely in this Chen. If these two heroes have a tough time at all, then the push from ScaryFaceZ is going to be really severely lessened, because these are the only heroes with pushing power, and their late game is very limited. So this is a totally all-in game for ScaryFaceZ in the early stages. I would say give this draft a 30-minute effective expiration time. After that, it's going to be a very swift dive down.
30 seconds to battle.
Yep, definitely. And there's a nice wraparound. And I think basically, I know they have everything it takes to get a nice first blood here, especially if the pounce hits. But there's a boar scouting. So now it sees the Slark, and well, that's pretty much it. As I've said, they are well aware of the fact that they don't have the best situation level 1. So they might as well just dodge that fight, and that's what they do. It's coming down to a 50-50 split of runes. Unless, of course, this like those two heroes, they actually try to commit to something, but they might be in a bad position here. Oh, there's a Gare coming out.
Yeah, State slowed down. Can he get Cliff? No, just dragged back. He'll pop the boar, and now Stoneman is going to get slowed down a little bit, but just a little bit of damage being spent on both sides, a little bit of mana. Nothing too huge. It's just going to be that bounty for bounty. One for Beastmaster, one for Queen of Pain, and then everyone's going to dissolve back into their lanes. Eknar, in the meantime, is clearing out some camps that were previously blocked by the unknown side. They really need that to happen. If Shadowy had any hiccups in lane, that would have been really bad for him. And well, State 21, just like last game, is going to have to deal with someone harassing him in lane. The Gyrocopter Queen of Pain, for now, dual lane, is going to make things difficult for State, but that lane will very quickly dissolve.
Yeah, I mean, Beastmaster 1-on-1 versus Queen of Pain is already pain. If you get someone else spamming you with something, that's of course even worse. Gyrocopter, for example, you could have gone for that level 1 homing missile, but oh, there's a nice punt here on the Scarif Mage, but unfortunately the Gyrocopter is not close enough. That would have been an awesome rocket barrage for him for full damage value. The Scarif Mage, he has to be careful because, well, with 500 HP, you are everything but tanky.
And it's going to be a lot of stress put on the Scarif Mage. Just Wild Wing is going to help out a little bit with the Tornado, but Unknown putting 2 heroes up on top lane, or I guess 3 heroes, Dominion's also rotating in. This is, I think, the correct move for them. This is the greatest way that they could slow down ScaryFaceZ, because they'll actually be able to put pressure onto the Chen in this case. Like, you already see Chen is, not quite in the tightest pincer, but these types of positions where Chen is going to be collapsed upon by a Gyrocopter and a lift up from the Rubik, bad places to be, and they're not really sacrificing their other lanes by making this offensive tri lane. Like, Arise versus Beastmaster is going to do just fine for Arise. In fact, he's crushing the lane right now, and the Phoenix versus Venomancer matchup, I would say Phoenix favored, but it's still decent for the Venomancer. He'd definitely get a lot done here.
Yep, definitely, and well, there's a big fat hello in caps. Everybody's ready, so we're back to this lane. How's bottom lane actually doing here? Venomancer versus the Phoenix. At the moment, the Phoenix is leading by a tiny bit, but that's it. Oh, in the meantime, we have the Rubik actually finding the Chen. The Chen is like not doing anything so far, like literally absolutely nothing.
That's what happens when the first creep that you could actually grab is going to be a Wild Wing Ripper. It's fine for harassment, but while you're harassing the enemies, you're not doing anything. Now they're going to get the Rocket Barrage onto Shadowy. This is most definitely going to be first blood with just a couple more hits. They will kill him off. Stoneman's going to draw it. Ekdart now going to try to go into the Rubik. Pure Evil has another Rocket Barrage. Ekdart's getting destroyed by that one. Here comes Quista. Decret Blast onto the Rubik will once again fall short. Now the pounce from Nikaway. Quista needs another blast, but even then, I don't think it's going to be enough. Blast will connect onto 2 heroes, but not enough. Again, Ekdart's going to close in a little bit. Stoneman needs one more right click. Won't quite get in range there. Pure Evil has another Rocket Barrage and just 3 mana. Lift up from Quista, or on Quista rather. Pure Evil with another Rocket Barrage is not using it just yet, but there it is onto Quista, and Stoneman is still alive. He's going to jump into the trees and it will eventually go down, but it's a 2-for-1 in favor of the unknown side so far. Pure Evil should be able to walk his way out of this one. So many heroes so very low. That bolt should not be lethal, although it should be very close. Oh, 82 out of 92, not bad. But yeah, ScaryFaceZ getting into a brawl at level 1. You don't want to do that with these heroes.
Well, this was very interesting because I don't know, as I've said, like really committed to this fight, and whoa, we just had the Dire Courier being killed by the Queen of Pain. This is really bad news for the Beastmaster. He's even in danger to die of this strike here. Well, in the end, he's bottling up in between the ticks, so everything is fine for now. He's also gonna get the next bounty rune there, so I guess it's not too bad. But yeah, Courier down, of course, bad news. Overall,
he's gonna blink over. He's gonna find State though. The perfect reads. Of course, there was an Observer Ward there, so it was kind of cheating, but yeah, he gets the kill in the end, and bounty rune probably not worth your death.
Yep, but definitely a nice start now for basically Unknown. Like going into this game here, I don't know, bottle, first blood, 2 kills ahead, everything you need to get this game going, and everything you don't need if you're SF and you have a pushing lineup that wants to come on online early.
Shadowy's still level 1 as this Chen. He needs to get so many extra creeps going. I guess fortunately for ScaryFaceZ, their Phoenix is doing pretty well on the bottom lane, but their Beastmaster is being quadrupled up in the CS department. This is more or less what I expected from last game, at least from this matchup. State did a pretty great job at recovering at that time, but now with the death, the level 5 Queen of Pain is going to be walking all over this level 4 Beastmaster. And up towards top lane, they're going to grab the Scarlet Mage, bring him back into a missile. Rocket Barrage is going to do a little bit of damage, not quite its full potential. Pure Evil now going to turn things around. Tower shots plus Quista's damage, not quite going to do it. He lives on 18 HP. They get the stun to Eknart. They'll kill him down. Nick maybe going to pounce out from under the tier 1 tower. Is he also going to live? Oh man, BU playing things probably a lot more aggressively than they really have to, but they're getting away with murder.
This is the 4th time a hero like leaves pretty much the SFZ region with what, below 50%, something like that.
Below 10%.
It's pretty insane. Yeah, this is not funny.
Maybe if you're a BU fan, it's a little bit funny.
Actually, yeah, it is. I mean, it's good for them. They're lucky to get out of there. But of course, for SFZ, they try to commit to at least one of them and get them down. But it's just one tower hit, a creep hit, or like just a right click, anything just missing, and that of course, yeah, ends up in a bad trade again.
And for ScaryFaceZ, I would say close to this time, if it was a 0-0 kill score, it's about getting that time where they should think about applying some pressure to a tier 1. Pugna, it has that level 4 mark right now. Chen should have a level 4 mark by this time, but he's only level 2. They can't really afford to make a push happen right now, even though that should be the play that they would have been planning to make. And now State is going to get blinked upon by Arise. Pure Evil's there with the missile and the Rocket Barrage to cut him off from his desired escape route. Has a regen rune, but the Sonic Wave is going to cut right through that. Rocket Barrage going to finish him off. Beastmaster to die, and BU leading now 5-1. When the push does come from ScaryFaceZ, I don't know if it's going to be threatening at all. They lose the Venomancer, but it's a small price to pay. Venomancer has levels of Plague Ward, and that's really all you need.
Yep, I mean, nice Nova there. Like, the damage over time just too big on the Venomancer, so he died pretty much on the way out already. But this time, well, they don't make it out with like no HP whatsoever. This time it actually ended in a kill, but they lost the Beastmaster again. So there's all the balance you need. The Queen of Pain this time gonna be a lot heavier than last game, a lot heavier.
And this game for Queen of Pain, you could, just rush up the Aghanim Scepter. I believe Ryze did that in the last game, and as far as just a counter push tool, it's always going to be good, but especially in this game, it's going to be double effectiveness there. But really, no matter what Arise decides to go for, it's going to get a lot of value because she's going to get it so early. Ramses is going to catch Stoneman over in the Roche pit, but a quick TP out from the Rubik, he's going to survive without too much stress on him. Phoenix is really, at this point, one of the more important heroes for ScaryFaceZ. Quista has recovered somewhat. He is farming now pretty decently, but this Beastmaster in the mid lane, though he does have the Roar, is going to be struggling, at least as far as mid lane heroes are concerned. Not going to have a super high impact in this game.
And talking about stress, they changed the lane at the moment. Like, given the Slark, the bottom lane, to grab some more experience right there against the Phoenix. But of course, it's a level 5 versus level 7 matchup right now. Everybody's like dodging forth and back, and oh well, there's a nice little go. And look at this, pounce and easy kill right there.
I have no idea what that was. Phoenix,
he didn't see the rocket. He didn't see the rocket.
He must not have, right? Like, he was sitting in Rocket Barrage with Icarus Dive available to him. There is no situation where that's the correct play.
I have no idea. I really think he was just busy targeting his Fire Spirits on the Slark and completely forgot that there was a rocket flying on him. Then he was stunned, gets 100% of that damage. I really think this was just a vision / sleeping thing that happened.
it was definitely just a careless play from Ramses. Like, you escape out of that situation 9 times out of 10, 95 times out of 100, because you see the gyrocopter, you figure, oh shit, I'm in trouble because there's a gyrocopter there. If I sit in his rocket barrage, I'll just die. You Icarus dive out of there without a second thought, but he didn't even turn around for an aggressive play on the gyro. I don't really know what that was about. So they give up the Phoenix, who really can't afford to be dying. No one on ScaryFaceZ can afford to be dying at this point, but Unknown, they're still on the hunt. Arise is looking for some blood right now, and he might catch Eknar in a corner right now, or Quista. That's even better. Here he comes. Blink, Scream, Sonic Wave. Not quite going to outright kill the Pugna. He's going to put up some wards, and now he'll get some backup. Poison Nova does go off. Quista should die to the Poison Sting, but Arise, he overcommitted. 3-man Scream Pain, not too bad, but he will be going down in the end. I don't think any of these heroes are going to die to anything else, but Pugna 4-2, it seems like. A pretty darn good trade for ScaryFaceZ, but still, losing their Pugna at any portion of this game is a heavy cost to be played.
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be an easy kill for the Queen of Pain and just blink out and everything's done. In the end, they lose two of their good heroes because the Venomancer was one of their free farming heroes bottom and the Queen of Pain was winning her lane. Now they gave a lot of this win away by this kind of play. I guess nice turnaround by SFZ. That's all I can say about this.
Stoneman, he's going to TP out of the enemy jungle. Shadowy, now level 4. He's recovering a little bit better than... well, he's recovering at some clip in this game, so he's going to be a relevant hero, hopefully. Once he grabs level 5, then maybe ScaryFaceZ can start making a push happen, but it's pushing 9 minutes in this game already, and we have yet to see any towers go down, let alone any significant structural damage onto these BU towers. Like, they're all above half HP, above 75% HP, and when you have a Chen and a Pugna, you would expect the towers to be, or at least some towers, to be dead or dying at this point, but they're not. They're nowhere really close to it.
And look at the Slug, he's going for a Midas right now, using it for the first time. A 9-minute Mina, it's not the fastest one, but, well, I guess from now on, his farming is going to be even better. I mean, they noticed that SFZ is not pushing. They should start around 10 minutes, maximum 50 minutes, then they have to start their push, otherwise it's going to be too late for them when you look at the entire big picture. But oh, there's a nice slow on the Venomancer. He has no ultimate whatsoever. There's the Drain coming out, Stick being used, and what they need is just one more missile just coming for him, and there it is. Arcane Bolt, easy kill.
Well, that wasn't that easy. It was a little bit closer than they really would have liked, but it's a kill nonetheless. And now, since there's no hero on the top lane, that's the lane with Pugna, this push is going to be coming. The mana sustain situation for Pugna, though, not the greatest. And over towards mid, looks like they're going to jump in towards State. Missile's going to fly, won't quite do enough, even with the call down. Now Phoenix is going to jump in. Has Fire Spirits and Pure Evil is going to burn. State will be just fine. It's a nice little turnaround for ScaryFaceZ and Unknown. Overcommit again, and this time it's going to cost them a tier 1 tower because Chen has also joined the fray. The pushing creeps that he has, or the creeps that he has, not exactly ideal, but it should be more than enough to actually get this tower down. Here comes Shotch, though. He's going to start putting up some wards. Maybe he gets a deny. That'll really hurt, but no, you can't really afford to out-deny up against these heroes. They have a Rise in the area who can blink in Sonic Wave, but nah, they're not going to make that play. Finally, a tower goes down.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line of the last minute is absolutely nice. Getting the Venomancer, second kill there on him, like defending mid. They wanted to gain the Beastmaster and they pay a heavy price for it because they lose the Gyrocopter and they get a tier 1 tower on top of it, starting exactly what they should have started pretty much by now. So yeah, SFZ can be happy about all of this. And in the mid, well, we have a roar on 20 seconds. There's the Chen coming in. Is this like the goal for the mid push at the moment? Where's Pugna? Yeah, Pugna's rotating in, which means yes, I think this is our push we were waiting for. 11 minutes. I was asking when is it going to happen, a minute later than I expected, but yeah, this is the push commando coming.
The game plan for ScaryFaceZ is to take mid, take bottom tier 2, take mid tier 2, take top tier 2. Pretty much just in that order. This is going to be a little more difficult than it really should be, though, because of how far behind they already are. And like call down, that's going to destroy their HP pools. Fade Bolt bouncing through as well. State dropping very low. Sonic Wave through 4. That'll kill off the Chen. Missile's going to land onto State. Icarus Dive has already been used. Slotcho draining out. He's going to burn. They also get a roar into Stoneman, who is going to die to this Phoenix as well. It's a double kill for Ramses. And it's, for ScaryFaceZ, probably an ideal situation. You get hit by a 4-man call down and a 4-man Sonic Wave and you still get 2 kills. That's pretty darn good.
Like, this was... I have no idea how SFZ survived here. And this was all with the level 5 Chen. Imagine this Chen next time being... Oh, there's actually a go on the Queen of Pain. I don't think that silence lasts long enough, but the Urn charges... Never mind that, the silence was even long enough. If not, Urn charges would have just... Yeah, do the trick. Anyway, back to this topic. If there was a Chen healing ultimate, easy going. Hand of God, they would have survived all of that. Even easier.
Man, Eknart's level 8. I didn't actually realize how much experience this Scarith Mage was getting, but Seal lasts for a hell of a long time. Roar lasts for a very long time as well, and their books are coming up slowly but surely for ScaryFaceZ. State has the greater portion of his. I can only assume Quista's going to be going for one as well with a random Belt of Strength. I don't think you build into anything else. Phoenix has a Hand of Midas flying out, just a great item to have on Phoenix in general, pretty much no exception. And they also have a mech coming up on Shadowy. They haven't taken down the tier 1 tower, and that could potentially be problematic for ScaryFaceZ. It's going to slow them down in the grand scheme of things, but they're getting items so that their pushing can be even faster, and if they wait for just a level 1 Necro Book, that'll definitely be worth it. Ideally, you would also wait for Shadowy to grab Hand of God level 4 in the Persuasion as well, and you'll have that one shortly also.
I mean, you saw this big AoE coming out of basically Unknown. It was, even in that fight, not enough to actually get them down. Now we are looking at the mech almost finished on the Chen. We have him level 6, which means Hand of God is coming out, and on top of all of that, even a bit greedier, the Phoenix now goes into a Midas, which means, yeah, now that Phoenix is really also getting fat and more levels, which also means the Nova is gonna play more of a bigger role in all those team fights.
Mid lane, there is quite a fortress of Plague Wards being set up right now. Axes, I think, being stolen. No, Stoneman actually grabs a bird. Unfortunately for Rubik's, you can't steal Call of the Wilds as as a set of skills. You only can steal one. That's a little bit unfortunate there, but ScaryFaceZ see the fact that mid lane is pretty well fortified. They're just going to go down towards the bottom lane, which has absolutely no fortifications at all. State's going to cut the creep wave, and this tower's going to die.
Yeah, I mean, this is still, I think, a bad trade, because top Arise is gonna get that tower solo, a nice gold for him in the meantime. Mid, they're already going for that push, but oh, even the Phoenix being picked up, lifted in the air, like Icarus dive out, there is no urn, no nothing, but somehow the Rubik still got him. I think this was a projectile following him.
It must have been, he doesn't have anything else, so Phoenix could have survived there, but I didn't see the projectile, I guess he didn't either. Supernova was not used there, which would have saved his life, but maybe he just doesn't want to pay that price.
Also, Hand of God.
Kind of high cooldown.
I'm pretty surprised Hand of God wasn't used there, because that Phoenix would have made it out easily. He had Nova, he had still his Icarus dive, could have been under the tier 2 tower in the end. They're gonna save this for potentially, what, a fight bottom, which could be a 5-on-4, but then again, in the mid, the Slark is just gonna push, and it's going down to a tier 2 trade, something around that.
I mean, they have a lot of mana sustain on Pugna, but his mana pool is starting to dwindle. Venomancer doing his best to slow down this push as best he can, but this tower is going to drop a lot faster than the mid lane push of the Slark, simply because, well, it's Pugna with Beastmaster level 3 aura and a Chen there. So the tower is going to die, but Nick Biba not doing too bad, nor is Arise, who's been pushing up the top lane since he took down that tier 1. So ScaryFaceZ, their tower pushing pattern a little bit interrupted, but they could always just go back right towards mid lane. Nikuibi as well, gonna kill off the Pugna. What the hell? Pugna was there. I didn't even see his icon there. Now the blanket from Arise is gonna turn around to Eknart. He's gonna get the silence out, so he's gonna save himself in the Sonic Wave. Now here comes the Supernova. I don't know if that'll even stun anyone though. Arise has a blink out, doesn't even need it. He'll walk out nice and calm. Blink out from the Queen of Pain over to the secret shop, which he'll rejoin with Nikuibi and TP out. Supernova used for nothing, and they lose 2 heroes. Now the pushing is once again going to be stalled out by ScaryFaceZ.
That was really strange. Like, the Pugna didn't use the Crapify on himself. I don't know what happened. Like, he could easily survive that or slow the Slark down that way that the Scarif Mage finds a kill. And then on top of that, Scarif Mage also dying to all of this. The Nova spent for pretty much nothing, and Nova is a cooldown with a almost 2-minute duration on it, which is really, really bad. I don't know, that was really, really strange. And also the decision to go for a tier 2 tower there, accepting that there's in mid a push as well as top. Look at the tower HP. I think basically Unknown, they just got a lot out of this, dodging the fight and going for their sort of mini push themselves.
You are pretty far ahead in this game. They're only 4,000 gold, only 3,000 experience, which for 60 minutes is actually quite a bit, but right now they should be behind. At least that's the plan for ScaryFaceZ. They're going to get a call down onto Quista, glimmering forward. Quista's going to take a beating. Mech, Hand of God finally being used to save Quista. It could have been used before to save any number of other heroes, but now Shadowy's going to get pounced up. Doesn't have any more healing for himself. He'll go down to Nico Baby. State a little bit too late to this party. That's going to be a free kill for BU, and this game is just getting out of hand for ScaryFaceZ. They need to have taken down all the tier 2 towers by this stage with this type of draft and have a gold lead. Experience disadvantage, that's to be expected because they're going to be more grouped up than Unknown, but they're not supposed to be behind in gold.
Yep, absolutely not. I mean, now there's a tier 1 push coming. They will definitely get it. There will be, however, of course, a cliff ready
Radiant's
If anything,
middle
oh,
tower
the Phoenix
has
going
fallen.
super aggressive in here on that Venomancer. Like, damage over time is absolutely real. The Axis, I don't know even if they reach the Axis, but Chachlo, yes, he is going down. No way the Rubik could actually out-heal that with his own little laser.
It was a nice attempt, I suppose, from the Rubik, but Venomancer going down, a small price to pay right now just because BU are getting so far ahead. Arise also has his Orchid, and I think someone is going to start feeling it. It might be Quista. Blink forward, Silence, Sonic Wave available. We'll get silenced out of it though. Now Arise overcommitted. He's going to get chased out. Silence will last long enough for them to get the kill. And Arise, that is not the play that you want to make, my friend. It's going to give ScaryFaceZ a large chunk of cash. Niku Baby out towards top has since destroyed a tier 2 tower. Looks like he won't pay the price there because he has a Shadow Blade to get out, but man, that's the easiest way for BU to lose this lead. If they make plays like that, that ultimately fail.
Oh, and the Slark was on the hunt. I mean, the Slark is suddenly, yeah, getting momentum. He has his Shadow Blade, so with his ultimate plus Shadow Blade, he has 2 tools to easily get out of those fights that are pretty messy. He has the Midas ticking for him. He just got a tier 2 tower top on his own. Did quite something before in the mid. Easy kills before that, so yes, the Slark is gonna be something, as I've said, they have to fear pretty soon.
The only answer they have to this arc, or the only concrete answer at least, is Ancient Steel and Roar, both of which you can pact out if you expect that. You jump in with the Shadow Blade, you instantly use the pact, and most of the time you're going to get rid of some sort of debuff on you. So Slark is going to be a menace right now, and there are heroes like Chen in this game, there are heroes like Pugna, which can't really do anything. Decrepify, heal themselves in a minor way, but as far as escaping the Slark, good luck to those heroes. So Slark is going to be a menace in this game right now, and he's going to go straight for the Mithril Hammer, probably into a BKB. He'll be ready to fight pretty much anyone at any given time. Niku Baby is leading the farm, and he's going to crush the ScaryFaceZ with that farm, unless ScaryFaceZ can actually kill him off and then make a push straight afterwards. And so far, that's just not been happening.
Yep, it's not really happening. Plus the time is ticking. Tick-tack, tick-tack, and they need to find something. Oh, but there's a silence on the Slark. This time, not well enough time, so Slark is easily out here.
And he's just distracting right now. In the meantime, bottom lane, Arise is just pushing that one out slowly but surely. He will eventually get to this tier 1 tower and maybe take it down. Even if he doesn't, it's not really a terribly huge deal since he can assassinate pretty much whoever he finds if they were foolish enough to defend this by themselves. But yeah, he's getting free damage on this tier 1 tower, and with Stoneman right around the corner with a Blink Dagger into Telekinesis, and also Pure Evil's in the area as well with the Glimmer Cape, they can kill off anyone who wants to defend this, and they're split pushing the pushing strategy. Like, the pushing strategy is getting outpushed right now, and that's just... when that happens, you know that you're in a bad place.
Yep, definitely. And, well, 12 and 11. I'm actually curious about... yeah. There, the crafts. Experience 3k for Unknown. That's less than I actually thought. When it comes to gold, net worth, well, there's 4k. But look at this Slark. He wants the Chen, and there's an easy pounce. Well, he still has Max, still has Hand of God. I don't think he's gonna use it. It's really just stalling some time. In the end, nobody really can prevent this. Beastmaster not even using that Roar. Oh, well, there's a mini-stun now. There, oh my god, the timing. So bad. The timing was so bad. Oh my god.
Or so good, you know, if you're a fan of BU, they're going to get the Sonic Wave down towards bottom with Pure Evil already doing a lot of damage with his call down and Barrage. They'll kill off 2. Here comes a third. It's the Beastmaster who already used his Roar. Not really the biggest threat. Axe is not going to kill off Pure Evil, and he will stick the landing back home. It's a 3-0 after all is said and done. Stoneman is going to get jumped by Ramses right now, but it's going to be a Fire Spirit duel. Stoneman has backup there. That's cheating, man. No honor. Ramses is going to get jumped and killed off. Niku Baby is going to claim an unstoppable streak. This game is looking all but over for ScaryFaceZ. I don't really know what they can do to come back into this game.
No, but I just don't understand the timing of it. I mean, the Roar, he waited all the time with the Roar because he knew there's a Dark Pact, but then he's not using it, or he's using directly when the Dark Pact is about to come out. And also now the Phoenix, for example. Yes, the Phoenix went down, and he most likely would have gone down, but the problem is, he had Yule Scepter, for example. He didn't use it. Not on anyone. Not even on himself, just to get rid of, for example, the Dark Pact or anything else. Like, big question marks at the moment on SFZ's decisions and plays and timings. So, we saw it much better in Game 1 by them.
It seems like the roles are just reversed. ScaryFaceZ are... I mean, I think they're a little bit more on the same page than BU were in Game 1, but at this point, they're just so far behind right now. Their pushing strategy has taken down not all the tier 2s at this stage, and there's a gyrocopter who's on the other side of the map at level 11 with the Glimmer Cape. He has so much assassination power right now as a support hero, not to mention the fact that Rubik also has a Blink Dagger. Maybe he's going to get jumped over in mid, and it's going to be his death, but I mean, it's a support Gyrocopter. Does he actually care about that? I don't think he does, because Nico Baby has a BKB now completed and is level frickin' 16.
Yep. So we have to see what's coming. But what I'm more curious about is, when does SFZ like start their push? I mean, it's what they did the last 3 minutes or so. It's a disaster, and it plays every single bit plays into Unknown's favor. So they have to do something that gets them out of the situation. Roshan is of course something they could do. It should relatively be a fast Roshan, considering that like there are so many units hitting. But then again, look at the speed of Roshan. It's pretty slow actually. In the meantime, we have a push happening in that top lane, and this is a push that will do quite some damage on a tier 3 tower, or get at least a cliff out before this Roshan is going down.
Answer TV back. I think I saw this in the last game. Smoke is up. Quista's gonna grab the Aegis. I think for ScaryFaceZ, their best chance of coming back is take some sort of miracle team fight. Hope the Nether Ward gets some ridiculous value. Hope the Supernova stuns everyone. They have to cross their fingers and hope for a lot of things to come around in the correct way, but they're just gonna smoke up and go straight towards top. Can they actually find anyone? Even if they do, will it matter? Horizon Shotch though sticking around, and there's the Venomancer Plague Ward, which will reveal the fact that there were heroes there and they were smoked. And Slark, oh, he found Chen. That's a free kill if he's going to feel confident enough to go for it by himself, and he should right at this point. There it is. Chen is so many layers of dead right now. Hand of God and Mech, and Nico Baby is going to get slowed down by the boulder. Now into the Shadow Dance he goes. Shadowy is going to die, even with that decrep from his ally. Nico Baby is out home free, and, well, yeah, he just got a free kill.
Yep, that was very, very interesting. There was a Raw in theory to interrupt the... Oh, well, actually there's a go here on the Rubik, but he's just gonna TP out, and there's just nothing they can do. The Beastmaster is one of the only ones who can actually interrupt something here, except for Chen creeps, of course. But yeah, he just didn't have the vision, the timing whatsoever. It's... At the moment, it really feels like basically Unknown starts to play with SFZ because they can. And Slark is just going to get another kill. Easy one on that Beastmaster. And look at Arise. He's looking at the next target. Just slowly getting picked off everywhere on the map.
How many heroes do you think ScaryFaceZ have to invest if they're going to kill off this Slark? I feel like it's 3-ish at the very least.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Phoenix got absolutely wrecked. Now Pure Evil, he's going to glimmer himself out, or at least try to. Quista's going to get silenced. That was a bad poison nova to say the least, but now with the call down, that's going to be a little bit better. Connecting onto 2, plus the entire Chen army. They will kill off the Gyrocopter because, well, Queen of Pain doesn't want to blink into that Nether Ward. Quista's going to have some safety with that, plus he has his Necro Book. They will get out of there, Quista without the CC necessary to actually chase them down. They get the kill on the Gyrocopter, they lose a whole bunch of heroes, and Stoneman, well, he's manning up in a big way. This Rubik does not give a damn. Maybe he should, though. He's going to give Eknard a free kill, but Unknown, they're so far ahead right now, they can afford to suicide like 3 or 4 times a piece and still be at an advantage in this game.
Yep, I mean, this was really not the most optimal fight. Now, Beastmaster, does he time his roar right? Nope, he does not. Like, it was just invisibility. Easy going for him, but the Slark. Nico is really getting greedy here. Like, oh my god, Pogna didn't go back to the fountain and heal. There he loses his Aegis, and there's the roar. This time it was nicely timed. No mana left whatsoever, but BKB is still there. The problem is, oh, he's slowed. I know, Nico, you had to do this. Like, he really had to do this. His greediness, well, here it stopped.
He probably should have seen that one coming. I mean, Beastmaster Roar is, I guess, a little bit hard to anticipate. There's some animation associated with it, but Slark in that situation, you should just be looking to pack out and get out of there. But, yeah, use your Shadow Dance and get out of there, rather. But made the aggressive play, decided to stick around for the Beastmaster as well. Maybe didn't expect to be burned out of mana that quickly, and I think that's, justifiable. But BU, they lose their Slark, and now here comes the ScaryFaceZ push. They finally played Whack-A-Mole long enough. They've killed the mole, and now they're going to go in for a tier 2 tower push. It's 26 minutes in. This is when their draft it has already peaked and has been past that peaking stage for quite a long time, but they have to go for this. Otherwise, they're just simply never going to win the game. So here comes that push. Basically Unknown. They have call down to thin this one out, and it's going to hit quite a lot of heroes and units.
Yep, it's really just about damaging at least as much as they can, but the mech is taking care of most of it, and I don't think they stop here. I think they just keep on going, but they have to know that the Slug is respawning and the Queen of Pain can TP back anytime, which is she's doing that right now. So maybe it's really just sending the residual creeps on that tower and then going back. We have to see if I think if they commit here, this might be the game deciding fight, because if they completely lose this, then this is gonna be bad. The Slug is already somewhere. Oh, well, against Necro units might be interesting, because he is seen.
I think they have 2 level 3 Necro books. They do, so they're layering them so that they always have that true sight, or at least some sort of true sight. Once again, the Necro units go straight up to the high ground. Pure Evil is going to take quite a large chunk of pure damage from that one. Slowly but surely, Quista will eventually bring down this tier 3, but it's just a drop in the bucket of the advantage of Unknown right now. They can sacrifice this tier 3 tower and still be a-okay, and ScaryFaceZ looks like they're not going to push their luck any longer. I think because they ran out of Chen creeps, there's a Wild Wing and a Troll, and that's about it. They can get another Satyr, but those aren't really what you want. So for ScaryFaceZ, they're going to fall back. At least they get something, right? They have shown that they can make these aggressive plays still.
Yep, that's actually pretty interesting. Also, I know sending the last set there of Necro creeps on the tier 3 tower. The Necro units still give tons of gold, like they're feeding away, what is it, 350 or 400 gold, plus a lot of experience away. I don't think that's a good idea. You have to back those creeps up as well. Now, we have a Smoke and a Slark on a Shadow Plate hunting for someone, and the Chen creeps actually give away that there might be a Chen somewhere around, but this time they actually stand under the tower, except for the Beastmaster.
Well, Beastmaster has a roar, but he's silenced now. Niku Baby is going to let loose on the State, who's going to die. And now he's going to get chased forward. The rest of the team, Shadow is going to get pounced up. Niku Baby has BKB active. We'll just go straight for the Nether Ward. Got to get rid of that problem. Stoneman going to be the price to pay for this fight, but they could even look to continue onward if they want to. It's still a 2-for-1, and 2-for-1 that involved only a support dying on the Unknown side. ScaryFaceZ, I mean, that's obviously just not a good trade ever to make, but also in this particular situation when they're already far behind, they need to be on the aggressive. That's going to sting a lot more.
Yeah, but this was also, again, strange. Like, the Beastmaster, the silence ran out, and before he died, he didn't use his roar. I don't know if he saved it for potential buyback TP in or something, but I don't know.
He was silenced. Oh, now Venomancer is going to get lifted up into the air. He will fall into a Solar Beam, glimmered out, at least attempted by Pure Evil, but no, you can't really escape that Solar Beam. They'll kill off the Venomancer, but Niku Baby is going to make an even trade for the Scarif Mage. Now into the Supernova they'll go, but there's so many heroes here that they should be able to crack this egg, and they will, even with the Decrep interrupting the Slark's attack speed. Now Rise is going to connect with the Quista on the dagger. He will pop that Nether Ward, and that will force everyone to back off for right now, but ScaryFaceZ, they're bleeding heroes in the bottom lane, and there's also a free gem.
Oh Jesus, Gyrocopter now realizing that there's a gem. Oh my goodness. I don't know, everybody just paying attention to something else, but oh my god, I think Slark just found someone again. It's the Beastmaster, fresh from the fountain, back to the fountain, and nom 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 nom, there's even 200 gold from the Necro Creeps. Well, this is definitely not how you play Mr. Beastmaster.
That's not how you play anyone, man, but there's no real counterplay involved here. If Slark catches you, one Eye of Scotty hit, and the only defensive tool that ScaryFaceZ have, aside from their minor amounts of healing, like level 2 Handed God is not exactly that impressive. 30 minutes in the game, only 300 heal, is Decrepify, and that's pretty good, but that won't save you for much longer. Niku maybe, might even consider going for a Diffusal Blade right now, just so he could hard counter that, or an Abyssal Blade, just so he could stun you immediately. There is not much that ScaryFaceZ can do right now. Even now, with a 5-man Supernova, I don't think that's going to be enough. They need, like, an Enigma to join the game right now and to be on their side.
Yep, definitely. And well, just checking my where was I? Yeah, I don't know, like now we are actually in a situation where they lost all their towers, and the pushing draft is suddenly seeing themselves in a position where they are a defensive draft, a high ground defense draft. And well, if you look at those graphs, it's really looking bad. They lost a lot of advantage in those nice fights SFZ had, but now it's going back up, and it seems like there's no stopping at this point. And it's exactly what we said in the draft. This is exactly what's supposed to happen when you push or go for a push, and then it all fails. It gets 30 minutes, 35, and then you're just not strong enough anymore.
Slark is, well, not completely doubling the highest farm of ScaryFaceZ, but I would say Slark, as far as how he can use his farm compared to how Quista can use his farm, is like doubling, tripling the net worth, because Pug, I mean, these are decent items to have. Drum, Necro Book, these are all pretty good, but when you're in a heads-up fight against a Slark, I don't know if that's going to be doing anything at all. So Slark has a lot more farm, he has a lot more useful farm, and he's just always going to be on the hunt. He's going to backdoor tier 3 because free gold, you might as well grab it. It was deniable, and Niku maybe not going to give ScaryFaceZ that chance. He's at 2,500 gold after having completed a Scotty. I don't know if you even need a Silver Edge right now. I think you just go for a Basher, or hell, even going for like a Heart right now, and then ScaryFaceZ will actually never be able to kill this Slark.
Yeah, at this point, like, the Beastmaster is the only thing that can really stop that Slark, but either he times his draw wrong, or he just doesn't get it off at all because he's silenced whatsoever. I just don't see it happening anymore. That Slark is pretty much just everything. But, well, the Phoenix found at least that Venomancer. He might get all his 8s off before everything happens. And look at this. Venomancer, well, he's not even losing too much HP. The Nova is being baited out. That's also not the way you want to go for it.
Huh. Supernova does not dispel Poison Nova or Poison Sting. I did not know that.
Well, we just learned something again. But like, you don't get damage in the time you are in the Nova, so that's how you still sort of survive.
But I thought like your hero was just like reset after he popped out. I guess I was wrong. Whatever.
I think for most stuff it actually is that way, but well, it's Dota. You never know. We just learned something. Roshan is gonna respawn in very much just some seconds. It looks like, yes, there he is. And to be honest, if Unknown gets the next Roshan and we get that Aegis on the Slark, which I don't even think will happen because he's full and survives just as it is, maybe they're gonna give it on the Queen of Pain. But let's see.
Dude, Shadowy just stole the Beastmaster's Hawk. That's so rude. And now Niku Baby is gonna make a trade for Eknart, so he's like, yo, you stole that? That's not cool. That was also Rubik's Hawk, by the way, so that's how that works. But Niku Baby's gonna get a free kill on the Skywrath Mage. They don't even need Aegis, honestly. They're just going to jump right in. Eul Scepter on the Phoenix will help them dodge a little bit of that Orchid damage. But the push from Slark is pretty quick, and he can just go into the back and assassinate this Nether Ward. That's the important thing. That's probably ScaryFaceZ's most valuable asset right now. Niku Baby is tanking 4 heroes. I don't think he cares at all. He's going to jump straight towards Quista, gets a bash. Now he's just going to let loose the Shadow Dance as well. Mech is there, as is the Decrepify and a Glimmer. But will that be enough? Niku Baby is just going to pounce right out. The rest of the team, in the meantime, actually killing off objectives. Fancy that. Now Ramsey's getting hit with the call down. Eul Scepter will dodge the first missile. In fact, they will kill off the Slark in the end. Double call down, not quite going to be enough. Pure Evil and Shotch, though, still working on the melee racks. It will go down. However, Pure Evil will be the even trade here. Supernova will go off, forcing everyone else from BU to retreat. But it's still Rax is in favor of BU a lot sooner than ScaryFaceZ are even going to touch the Raxes. So it's still a 2-0 for ScaryFaceZ. That's nice, but not good enough.
Yeah, but I don't really understand what's happening here, especially with the items on SFZ, because before all that started, we had the Skywrath Mage being killed by the Slark, and he had Ghost Scepter as well as Glimmer Cape. Didn't use any of that. I don't know if he was just surprised or what it was, or maybe the third hit actually stunned him, which I didn't see, or something like that. Oh, that was an attempt in the mid to stunnerize. Not going to happen. But also the Pugna, for example, the Slark is chasing him on the tier 4 towers. He used pretty much those Necro units just a second. The split second before he was supposed to die, which was prevented by another Glimmer Cape. But I still think that like, a lot of the timing of certain items and spells is so far off in those fights. I guess it's really just panic mode. Either way, with the Slark being down for such a long time, they actually go for this Roshan, but you're already right. Like, the Meteorex is down, so for basically Unknown, it was still a worthy fight.
Looks like they're going to get Roshan, but Aegis on any of these heroes, I'm going to figure they're going to put it onto Quista. He's going to drop his wand, and he will grab that Aegis. But, yeah, Pugna is so easy to kill off right now that you can conceivably kill him off twice. Still, it's the Nether Ward that's his greatest asset. If he had an Aghanim Scepter, this Aegis would be so much better, but he doesn't quite yet have that one either. So the golden experience is going to be nice for ScaryFaceZ. They need to do something with this Aegis, but I don't really think they have the momentum, the creep equilibrium, the net worth advantage, the experience advantage necessary to actually go and make an aggressive play. ScaryFaceZ should be looking to end the game right now. In their book, this game should be over. At least that was the plan.
Well, at this point, they can't even leave their base. There's top and bot is pushing in. Top now, of course, even more with the stronger creeps. There's always basically unknown heroes, just making sure those lanes are pushed out in case SFZ has like a lucky pick-off, something like that. It's really the death for like a pushing strategy this way. And if they head out, like a fight in the open is most likely going to fail because the Slark with all his utility can just hop in blindly and get one of them down before the entire fight even starts. So that's their biggest problem at the moment. That's why they go back in the base. They want to fight around towers. Maybe, I mean, Nico is really greedy. Nico is really aggressive and a greedy player. So him diving out of tier 4 towers and dying there might be really the key to at least force a buyback if they have buyback, or make something happen, a mid push, something like that.
The bad thing for ScaryFaceZ is that that's pretty much their only course of action. Like, hope Nico Baby goes into the tier 4s of the fountain. And when you're relying on that, you know that you're in a bad position right now. I want to say for the record that I don't think this is really a bad draft from ScaryFaceZ. I think the Phoenix pick is a little bit more questionable. I think if we, go back all the way to the beginning of this game, like 40 minutes ago, talking about the draft, the Luna or a Lestrak or hell, even a Lycan right now would make it so that ScaryFaceZ would have, at the very least, some sort of fighting chance in a heads-up fight. But Phoenix is, a decent hero still. Scythe of the Vice, Supernova, pretty hard to kill off at this stage. He isn't really that late game powerhouse, nor is the Pugna, who still doesn't have his Aghanims. Even if he did have it, wouldn't really help him that much. ScaryFaceZ just failed to execute, and Unknown, they can play this game as slowly as they want right now, because Slark, he's still pretty far away from getting 6 slotted. Has a Silver Edged upgrade, has an Abyssal upgrade, and then a TP slot to kind of replace. Not to mention you could also grab some Moon Shards. Yeah,
absolutely. And even right now, I mean, he's like 7k ahead over the next guys on SFZ, and he still has so much to upgrade. This is just bad. But Phoenix potentially found by Slark, or the other way around, I can't really tell. Well, he's using Icarus Dive just to get away.
Yeah, and ScaryFaceZ, like, not dying is one thing in a game of Dota. Right now, ScaryFaceZ are doing an okay job at not dying, but how are they actually going to turn around and win this game? That's a different question entirely. Ramsey's going to try to go for shot chill, but here comes Nico Baby. Roar is going to get packed out. Now onto State they go. He's going to get Glimmered, but will that actually matter? Call down onto everyone as Pure Evil comes in from the side with the BKB active. They've taken down 2 already. They're going to go for 3. They're going to go for 4. It's a double kill for Nico Baby and a Rise. That's a GG called. The Pugna Aegis did absolutely nothing. Who's going to grab the last hit? It's going to be Stomanen. No, it's going to be Pure Evil. And that is going to be game. It was probably over for like 15 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, it was really just waiting for that one fight. Basically, Unknown just playing safe in case there is really a bad fight they take, which always might happen with a player like Nico when he dives that deep. The fact is, it was lost for at least 10 minutes. And also the Beastmaster, you saw it last fight, the Raw again into Dark Pact. So that was, again, just the only disable they have, the only big disable they have. It just doesn't come out. We also never saw any big Novas whatsoever. Better fighting, better pushing, and that would have been a win for SFZ, but it just wasn't.
Well, I like the idea that ScaryFaceZ were trying to go for. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, so hopefully it wouldn't stop them from trying this type of strategy in the future, because I do like it when teams try to mix it up with this aggressive pushing strategy. But for right now, guys, BU are going to claim Game 2 and are going to push this series to a Game 3. I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Heflamoke, and we'll both be right back for Game 3 between ScaryFaceZ and Basically Unknown from the GameShow Invitational in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere, guys.